Are you living each day as intentionally as you want to? Here's 3 tips on how I live my day with intention. The 3 tips, they're really questions, and these are questions I want to challenge you to ask yourself before you head out the door every single day to make sure you've set your intentions for that day. One of my mentors always says, man, this is so simple, it's common knowledge, but it's not common practice. What I'm going to share with you, it's elementary, it's simple, but I'm always amazed at how many people never take the time to think through these 3 questions. All right, number 1, what's one word that, and just pick one word that you want to live by today. I do this every day. I pick one word that I want to describe the kind of person that I want to show up and be in this world. So before I head out my door in the morning, I've already got my word. And that word changes every day depending on what I have lined up for that day. Sometimes my word is joy. I just want to show up with more joy in my interactions, in my conversations. Wherever I'm going, I want to bring more joy to the situation that I'm entering. Sometimes my word is focus. Oh, you see it right behind me. If I got a lot going on, a lot of tasks to do, all right, okay, I have to bring my focus today. And I'll set reminders for myself, maybe leave a note here or there, like, okay, focus. It helps me be mindful. Like, am I focused as I could be right now or should be right now? So pick a word that you want to live by. A word that you want to describe yourself and how you want to be. It's kind of like your own personal culture that day. Number 2, who or what interactions needs you at your best today? You know, I grew up playing sports and we had this phrase, bring your A game. You know, in the offense, we'd always shout over to the defense, you better bring your A game because we're coming after you. And who in life, what task in life, what interaction do you have going on in your day that needs your A game? You probably have more than one thing, more than one interaction going on, but here's what I've learned. Not every interaction or task needs me way up here. But what's the one thing, or who's the one person that needs me to be at my best? They need me to really show up energetic, fully alive, engaged. Who's that person? I'm going to set that intention before my day begins. Number 3, last question. What's the most important task that you need to get done today? Sometimes we don't think about that, as simple as that might seem to you. And then we get overwhelmed. We're like, oh my gosh, I got all these things going on. What's the one thing? Forget everything else. What's the one thing that before the sun sets, you want to get accomplished? You're going to feel good about. You're going to feel productive at the end of the day, because when a push comes to shove, I got that one thing done. And I want to encourage you to think about it this way. Sometimes that one thing is not work related. It doesn't have anything to do with your career. Sometimes the most important thing that you could do throughout the day is connect deeply, passionately with the person you love the most. Sometimes that thing is you. You're feeling a little bit burnout or dry, or you don't want to get to that stage, so you know, hey, I need to pull back, get away, and just recharge and refresh. And so you take some time for yourself that day. And for some of you, you're like, oh my gosh, how is that even possible? Be thoughtful about that. Think about it. See, a lot of us, what I've learned in life and the conversations that I have, we never take time to ask questions like that. We're not as thoughtful perhaps as we could be on how we want to show up in this world. What kind of energy do we want to bring? What kind of presence do we want to have when we're with other people, when we're at work, or we're interacting in this world that we live in? You might not like those 3 questions. That's not the point. Come up with your own 3, 5, 10 questions. The point is to set your intentions for the day, because, my friend, if you don't set your intentions, the world will set them for you. What do I mean by that? Social media, the news, other people, they begin to affect your attitude, your mood, the way you show up in life. You don't want that to happen. You want to go, hey, I'm in charge of this. I'm going to take responsibility for me and how I show up. So the least I can do is ask myself 3 questions. And I think if you do that, my friend, you will find that your days will be more intentional, more purposeful, more meaningful in your relationships, and your tasks will be more productive because you will be fully alive in who you show up to be because you've set that intention. Awesome. Please go do that. Try it. See how it works. You might be at a place in your life where you're like, okay, wow, I can take that tip and apply it. And if you want more, if you want to talk about this more, you know where I learned this? I learned it from a coach. I hired a coach in my life and I said, okay, help me walk through these things. And they begin to challenge me and push me to think about things in ways that I hadn't before. And it's helped me gain more clarity, develop and control my energy levels. It's helped me show up with more influence, productivity. These key areas of our life affect everything around us. You might not be satisfied with where you are and in your courage and how you're showing up in the world, in your clarity, with your energy, with your productivity, or your influence. You know what? We can work on all of that. If you're interested in coaching, want to say, hey, Jason, let's talk about this a little bit more, use that Calendly link with this video and get in touch with me. Let's get a phone call. We'll get the dialogue going on it. But until next time, my friend, keep your desire, your hustle, and your focus in how you're showing up in this world.